Namaskara. Greetings to everyone. In this video, we will go through the vowels known as swaras in the Sanskrit language and the steps on the techniques to pronounce them. In Sanskrit language, there are 13 vowels as shown below, and we'll look at each of them and the techniques to pronounce these vowels. In the table below, these are shown in Devanagari script and also its transliteration of each of the vowel here. To produce or pronounce a sound which is on the Sanskrit alphabet chart, two important things we need to know. One is the position, other is the actuator, or it is also known as instrument. Position is the place where we are trying to stop the air or the breath in the oral cavity in order to pronounce that sound. And the actuator is the part of the tongue using which we are trying to block or constrict that breath at that position. So there are 5 such positions in the oral cavity for different sounds. Starting from the back side, the first one is guttural. So at this place where the sounds which are supposed to be originating from this place use back of tongue as the actuator to block or constrict the air at that position. The next position is palatal or the palate. Now at this place, the sounds which are supposed to originate from this place use the top portion of the tongue or the flat portion of the tongue to block or constrict the air at this position. The next part, which is cerebral or cerebra, so at this position, the sounds which originate from this position use the tip of the tongue with slightly curled backwards to constrict or stop the breath at this position. The next position is the back of the front teeth. So these sounds are called dental sounds, and to pronounce these sounds which are dental, we use tip of the tongue to press against the back of the front teeth. The last position is lips. So these sounds are also called labial sounds, wherein we stop the breath or the air passing through the oral cavity at this position using the lips. So there are 5 positions, and there are different parts of the tongue which we use as actuator to block or constrict the air at those respective positions. So now we will see, with respect to the vowels, which are the different positions where this air has to be blocked or constricted, and also the part of the tongue which needs to be used to constrict the airflow at that position. So on this slide, we see the first 6 vowels along with one example of Sanskrit word in which it is used, and also its transliteration, and also an English word where it is approximate sound is heard. The first one is a sound. The diagram below shows the state of the throat, the position in the mouth, and also the shape of the lips or the mouth at the bottom here. The first one is a sound, which is like in Sanskrit word, it is ajaha. And in English language, an example here is cup, that sound after the cup, that middle sound that is somewhat equivalent to the sound. So as the diagram shows here, the sound, the throat, which is like a blue color indicates the relaxed state, and the red color indicates the tense state. So for sounding the throat should be relaxed, and the lips are also in relaxed natural position. And here brown line shows the back of the tongue is trying to constrict the air at the back of the oral cavity there, which is like it is a guttural sound. So when we say everything is natural, relaxed throat, relaxed natural mouth position, and air passing out in a relaxed state. So this is sound. Now the sound is an extension of sound. Here also the second diagram shows here the throat is in relaxed state, but the mouth or the lips are wide open. The mouth is wide open, the lips are vertically open here. So wide open mouth, sound. So this is the sound which we hear in the Sanskrit word asanam, and somewhat like in the English word car. After the ka, after that first ka sound, we hear that ka. So that sound where the throat is again relaxed, something same as this sound, but mouth is wide open. The duration to pronounce this sound is double, or it is supposed to be double of the duration which is used to sound So it is ah. The next one is E sound, where the throat is tense compared to the sound. You can try that saying E and hold that neck with your fingers. You can feel the tension compared to is relaxed. When you say E, the muscles in the throat, they seem to move up. So E. Along with that, this is a palatal sound. So here we are going to move the top portion of the tongue, or the flat of the tongue, upwards towards the palate, or that soft portion in the upper portion in the oral cavity. But the tongue, that flat portion of the tongue, top portion of the tongue, is not going to actually touch the palatal part, but it is going to constrict the air. The airflow is going to be constricted there. So the flat portion is going to move up, but is not going to touch. At the same time, the mouth, as you see here, the lips are stretched side to side horizontally. So when we say E, the lips stretched, and the flat or the top portion of the tongue moves up. E. So this is something like the English word, the sound which is heard in the English word lit, the E sound there after the lit. And the example of the Sanskrit word here is ishuhu. And there is a longer version of this same sound E. So when it is pronounced for a short, like a 1 second, it sounds E. The same sound when it is pronounced for longer duration, double the duration, E. Everything remains same. The throat is tense. The mouth, in the mouth, it is the same position as the E we saw earlier, but the lips are also stretched wide, but only the duration is longer here. The next vowel is U. Here U, which is the Sanskrit word where it is used. Example here is uragaha, and the English word where it sounds like that is look, look. That after the l, that u sound comes the look. Similar to that, the technique to pronounce this sound is the throat muscles. You feel that they are tense, something like E. When we are saying U also, they are tense. The tongue is relaxed, like only, relaxed. There is no movement up or down anywhere. It's just relaxed. But the lips here, they play part here. The lips are rounded. They form a small circle here. But the air goes out. The lips should not be closed. There should be a small circle, and the air, the breath moves out. So when we say oo, oo. The next vowel is oo, which is the elongated version of the short oo. The double the duration of oo, which is the same technique, throat tense, tongue relaxed, the lips form short circle, small circle, but duration is double that of the short u. The Sanskrit word example here is ushmanaha, and the approximate English word where it is heard is like root. Like after the R sound, there is oo sound, root. So that sound, the elongated oo sound, is this vowel here. Next three vowels need special attention and technique how to pronounce them, as sometimes these are confused with the pronunciation of some of the consonants, now which sound similar. But if you look at this, the diagrams here, it should be clear. The first one is R sound. The throat, the muscles in the throat, they are tense, something like E or U. So here also they are tense. The lips are stretched somewhat from side to side. But if you look at the position, it is a cerebral, and the actuator is the tip of the tongue. So tip of the tongue is trying to constrict the air, but it is not touching the part, the top part, hard part of the oral cavity on the top there, which is also called the roof inside the oral cavity. So it does not touch. It almost comes to the touching stage, but the air will still pass freely without completely being blocked. So this has to be kept in mind. So while pronouncing this R sound. So the technique which we can use to sound is start with sounding E sound when we say E, and then start moving the tongue upwards, the tip of the tongue upwards, and take it near this roof position here, or the ridge or the hard position in the oral cavity there. So start with the E and move the tip of the tongue up, E, and point the tip of the tongue forward. Don't curl it backward. Point it forward. This is not the same as the consonant R, which there is a touch in that position. There is no touch. So the Sanskrit example in the word is runam or rishi, and somewhat equivalent sound in the English word is read. Read. So there is no touch there. So similar to that, here also runam, rishi, rishi, rishi. So there is no touch. So you have to be careful while pronouncing this r sound. Now the next one is same sound with the double the duration, elongated. Same r sound with the more time. Stay there for more time. R, like the word pitroon, pitroon, pitroon. So here there is no touch. So here the same as r, throat muscles tense and lips stretched, and the tongue trying to block the air at this roof, but no touch. The next one, the third one here, is the L sound. This also sometimes confused with the L consonant, where there is a touch of the tip of the tongue to the back of the front teeth. That's a L sound, consonant. But here it is similar, but there is no touch. The throat, muscles in the throat, they are tense. The lips stretched side to side. And again, the technique we can use is start with the E sound and try to move the tip of the tongue up towards back of the front teeth, but do not touch the teeth. So when we say E and then move the tongue up, E, So here the word example in Sanskrit is kliptam. It is not kliptam, kliptam. Kliptam, there is no touch there. And somewhat like the English word table, that the end table, there's table. There is no full touch of the tongue to the back of the front teeth, but it's almost there. So this vowel, because of its script here, it is sometimes confused as r or lri, and some people actually try to pronounce it like that, like lri, which is incorrect. It is a vowel and it has to be pronounced like that without any touch anywhere in the oral cavity. The last four are the mixed vowels because they are a mixture of the vowels we saw before. The first one here is A, or as in the word Eshanam, or in the English word cake. After the k sound there is A there, cake. Something like that, A sound. So this is a mixture of A and E. So what happens here is we can start with A and then quickly change it to E sound. So here the muscles in the throat, they are relaxed. In the final position of the lips is stretched side to side like E. So we start with A and quickly change it to E, like A, A, A. And the position for this is also palate. So this is also palatal sound. The tongue, the top part, just like E is also palatal. So the top of the tongue, the top blade, it is very near to the palate, or the soft top portion of the oral cavity, but it does not touch that part. So it is A. A. The next one is I. I. This is a mixture of A and E sounds. So as the picture shows here, the muscles in the throat, they are relaxed. The lips, the mouth starts with A, like the wide open A sound, but quickly changes the state of the lips to E position, like I, very quickly, I. So when you do it quickly, instead of I, if you make it slow, it becomes I, but this is a quick sound, I. So the position is same as A or E. The top blade, the blade of the tongue is near to the palate but not touching it. The example in the Sanskrit word is Airavat, and in English word somewhat like light, the I sound after la, light, something like that. Airavat. The next one is O. This is a mix or combination of and U sound, which we saw earlier. Just starting with and changing it quickly to U makes it O. O. Here also the muscles in the throat are relaxed. Just like or U, the tongue retains the natural relaxed position, and the lips are making a small circle. So O. The Sanskrit word example here is ojas, and something like the English sound goat, the O sound after g, goat, O sound. The last one is ow sound, which is a combination of a and u sound. When they are a and u, they are pronounced quickly, then it becomes ow. The muscles in the throat, they're relaxed, and we are starting with a, so start with this wide open mouth and quickly change it to U position, ow, ow. Again, the throat retains relaxed natural position like A and U is natural. The Sanskrit word example here is pautraha, pau, the ow sound, then pautraha, and English equivalent sound something like noun, noun, that ow after noun. So with this, we have seen the techniques of pronouncing or sounding all the 13 vowels in the Sanskrit alphabet. Thank you.